Jordan Spieth is rolling at the Charles Schwab Challenge. He is so comfortable at that golf course, Colonial. Of course, he's won there before. He's finished runner-up twice, plays it all the time as he obviously lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Now, Jordan Spieth, of course, he's had some struggles, right? We know all about that with the driver and the approach play. It's been a struggle with the swing, but the swing's getting better. I said it earlier on my show, the matchup with DraftKings, that I think what's happening right now with Jordan Spieth, this is the perfect comeback scenario for him, right? He had 3 months to work with his coach, get things more organized. He's going to come back to a place that he's won at, very comfortable, Colonial, and there's no fans. So he doesn't have that added pressure. So he's really taken advantage of it, and it's cool to see because the PGA Tour is better with Jordan Spieth in contention. Now, Michael Greller, his caddy, was standing out in front of him and holding this club about right here, okay, when he was warming up, hitting a lot of drivers with this out here like this. And if you don't have somebody out there, well, then you have to, take an old alignment stick, put it in the ground. I like using these pool noodles. And you can see I have it set up just above kind of my hands and then out in front of me, say about 2 feet, 1.5 feet, 2 feet. You see a lot of tour players doing this. They've got something out here because they want to keep the handle low and they want to get the club head turning the corner back around underneath that and to the left. Now, the thing you have to understand about like a Jordan Spieth and with tour players is that these guys get the club to shallow out some. This club is laying down like this in transition, okay? They've got the lead arm with some depth around him. That's something that I think Jordan's been working on, is some lead arm depth, getting his right hip to turn back out of the way, loaded, so this arm can work in and around. Okay, seems the tendency sometime with Spieth, the hip can get a little high, the lead arm can get a little upright, okay, up here like this, and then the shaft wants to hang out maybe a little more to the left than he wants, and the swing looks shorter. So it looks great right now. He's doing some great work, I believe still with Cameron McCormick, who has got the hip turning back behind him, who's got the lead arm working more around him, and the club as a result, you notice with the driver, and that club looks like it's over there a little bit more. Okay, and I'm sure he would take too much depth, probably not possible, too much depth in the arm that way, and the club even pointing a little across the line right now. That's just my guess, but I would think he would take that because now, as the shaft shallows, he can just turn and get this thing to work back down underneath this. Okay, in fact, when that backswing work is done and they're just standing right here, it's telling me that it's kind of instinctive now. Like, I just got to get it here. And if I can just get it back down underneath this, it's going to go pretty straight. This can get a little more cumbersome to get that. It takes a little bit more mindset to think about what's happening here. And then, oh yeah, I got to hit it. But it looks like this is pretty cleaned up, and now I just got to get it back down underneath, where before, as he was probably a little more up here, the club shaft over there, he had to kind of stand it up a little bit more. The body had to back up a little bit more, the handle maybe a bit high, and then he would get that two-way miss. He'd hit some blocks, the face would over-rotate, and he would get that hook with the driver. So it looks pretty cleaned up now at the top, and now he can just really get it back down underneath to the left. And you notice when I do that, watch my lead shoulder. My lead shoulder just works more down and back, more on top of it, versus that left shoulder wanting to get high. And then the handle gets high, and then I run into this. So this is a good drill when things are pretty well organized here, you're happy with where the club is here, and then from there, you just turn, left shoulder stays down and back, right chest feels like it's a little bit more on top of it, and then that club can just exit more low left like this. So this is really good if you're a player who fights that push hook combination. Make sure you've got a good turn, make sure you've got some depth, make sure that shaft is shallowing out some, and then, well, you got somebody just like Michael Greller, you can just have him stand there and hold the club there, or you can just put this out in front of you and just hit shots where this works back down underneath. If you're a player who's very upright and or over the top like this, probably not the best drill for you.